It all reportedly began after Operation Sindoor, when the US and Israel jointly carried out precise strikes on Iranian facilities using B-2 bombers. Islamabad was watching closely, and what they learned was simple. If Iran, a powerful regional player, could be hit so directly and decisively, then Pakistan could be next, especially in a future where the US increasingly leans toward India as its preferred ally in Asia. This realization planted the seed of deterrence. Rawalpindi's defense planners quietly concluded that unless the US feels directly threatened, it will never hesitate to strike rogue nuclear nations. So the plan began forming. Give America something to be afraid of, missiles that can reach its cities. Now here's the catch. According to the Foreign Affairs article titled, "How to Survive the New Nuclear Age," American intelligence inputs have confirmed that Pakistan, with indirect assistance from China, has committed to developing long-range weapons. Their goal isn't just regional dominance anymore. It's about strategic survival and bargaining power. They're not building ICBMs to use them, but to prevent the US from treating Pakistan like it treated Iraq, Libya, or Iran. And if you think this sounds like fiction, wait till you hear the details. China has already helped Pakistan develop the Shaheen series of missiles. Shaheen I, II, and III, all capable of hitting India easily. Shaheen 3, the most advanced, has a range of about 2,750 kilometers. But that's not even close to the 12,000 to 13,000 kilometers needed to strike the US mainland. The US Minuteman III ICBM has such range. So does China's DF-41. If China even transfers fragments of this technology, or if Pakistan acquires it through covert means, the global balance of power shifts instantly. This isn't paranoia. This is strategy. From Pakistan's perspective, the US has a habit of eliminating threats only when they are powerless to respond. Saddam Hussein, Muammar Gaddafi, both had no real deterrent. Iran was also hit hard because it had no delivery system for a nuclear weapon. But North Korea? The US treads carefully. Why? Because North Korea has missiles that can reach US cities. That's the logic now shaping Pakistan's defense doctrine. They fear a future where India becomes so strategically aligned with America that in a full-scale war, the US might openly back India just like it backs Israel. Military supplies, diplomatic shielding at the UN, and even active involvement in joint strikes. Pakistan wants a card to play in that scenario. A fear card. A silent but effective one. An ICBM aimed not at launching war, but preventing one. The terrifying part is that the intent now exists. And in geopolitics, intent is as dangerous as capacity. Because intent drives investment. It shapes alliances. It justifies secrecy. And according to the report, Pakistan is now past the intent stage. They're building, testing, aligning with China, learning from North Korea, and possibly gaining access to long-range rocket technology through dual-use exports and military exchanges. The United States knows all of this. That's why Foreign Affairs didn't hold back. Their article is a warning to policymakers. Once a nation starts moving down the ICBM path, it cannot be ignored. Because the time to stop them is early. Before they build silos, before they test MIRVs, before they create submarine-launched platforms. Pakistan hasn't done these yet. But the clock is ticking. 10 years, maybe 15. That's how long experts estimate it will take Pakistan to go from where it is today, 2,700 kilometers of range, to the 13,000 kilometers needed to hit New York or Washington. And this changes everything for India, too. Because a Pakistan with American-range ICBMs is also a Pakistan with far more negotiating power. It can deter U.S. involvement. It can resist sanctions more confidently. It can raise the stakes in any conflict with India. And worst of all, it can hide behind its missiles, knowing that no matter how unstable its leadership becomes, no foreign nation would dare intervene. India, of course, already has ICBM-class missiles. The Agni 5, officially said to have a range of 5,000 kilometers, is widely believed to be capable of 8,000 or more. But India's doctrine is defensive. Pakistan's isn't. The very fact that Pakistan is trying to build a threat for a continent it isn't even geographically near, that should raise red flags across the Pentagon and South Bloc alike. And if you're wondering whether the US will let this happen, just remember history. The US once backed the Taliban against the Soviets, then bombed them 20 years later. It once gave weapons to Iraq, then accused Iraq of having too many weapons. Geopolitical alliances are not written in stone. They're written in sand, and the wind is always blowing. For now, the US may continue to support Pakistan with loans, IMF packages, or military assistance, because they need short-term leverage. But in the long term, once Iran is neutralized, and once China becomes the primary focus, Pakistan will be next on the list of strategic concerns. Pakistan knows this. That's why they're preparing now. That's why they're quietly evolving their missile systems, expanding their nuclear doctrine, and hardening their command and control infrastructure. And for those asking whether Pakistan even has the capability to reach this far, there's a useful tool: Missile Map. You can simulate missile ranges by selecting countries and their weapons. Try Pakistan's Shaheen 3. It hits most of India, not even close to Europe or the US. Try India's Agni 5. It can reach deep into China and with some modifications, maybe parts of Europe. But to reach America, you need a monster missile. Something like China's DF-41 or the US Minuteman III, 12,000 kilometers minimum. Pakistan is not there yet, but they want to be. And if they ever do get there, the geopolitical status quo will collapse. Because no one wants a politically unstable, military-dominated, extremist-influenced nation having the power to strike the heart of the Western world. It would force the US to treat Pakistan not as an ally, not even as a rival, but as a nuclear adversary. In that moment, everything changes. Sanctions, isolation, covert operations, even preemptive strikes become thinkable. That's how dangerous this path is. So the next time you read that Pakistan is developing new missiles, don't shrug it off as old news. This is not about India anymore. This is about power. This is about fear. And it's about how a country that once begged for IMF bailouts now dreams of pointing missiles at global superpowers. The world is watching. India is alert. America is calculating. And Pakistan is preparing. Let's hope it stops before it's too late.